This week I want to talk to you guys about power and how to keep your smoke inside the box where it belongs. So we are going to take a brand new power supply and I'm going to show you how to modify it so it is safe to use with your astronomy gear. Alright, this is my existing power supply I have been using safely for about 3 years. I needed another one, so now is a good time to show you guys how I did it and just how easy it is. I'm Amy Astro and welcome to my channel. A lot of questions about power supplies and how I power up my rig when I'm out on the field. So what I wanted to show you is what I am currently using, which is a desktop power supply. It's by PowerWorks. Alright, it is well, this one's not labeled. Oh, there it is. Okay, this one says that it's a switching power supply, DC 13.8 volts at 25 amps total. Okay, it takes regular 120 volt AC power in and it will give you DC power out through 2 Anderson power pole connectors, or you've got a couple, that you can click some wires onto. And what I like about Anderson power poles is you can build these connectors yourself. Okay, they're really easy to do. You just need some wire strippers and you get the proper these cord adapters, and then you buy a crimping tool, and it's super easy to make. But they just plug right into the front. I switch it on and I've got power. Now the issue with this power as it came out of the box, it was 13.8 is what it says, but really it measured at 14.1 when I put an amp meter on it. And 14.1 is too much power for our astronomy supplies, and it would blow them up or literally let the smoke out of the box. And we don't want that to happen. So what you have to do with these, and I had somebody show this to me, so I didn't go totally crazy on my own, is you have to open these boxes up. But know that as soon as you open it up, you are voiding the warranty on this box. So be prepared to know that if you open this box, it is yours and yours to keep, okay? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the voltage down on a brand new power box, okay? And I'm going to show you how they come out of the box. And together we're going to hunt for the potentiometer inside this box to dial down the voltage some, okay? So let's open this up. This is another PowerWorks DC power supply. It's the same thing as the one that I bought 3 years ago. They've just labeled it slightly different, as in now they are actually telling you that it is 14.1 volts DC, okay? So let's get this bad boy open. Now on the back of this box, it reads exactly the same as the original box. And it tells me that it's 13.8 volts, 25 amps total, and slightly different than what the outside of the box reads. So the one thing that you need to know when you're using these is you kind of got to measure them to know exactly what they're saying. But there is also a switch on the back of it here that says that it's, let's see, right here, it's 230 volts or 115 volts. Well, I'm in the US, so I need to flip this to, let's see, it's got a small screwdriver out, and I've got these little guys here. It's got a flathead screwdriver out, okay? And I've got to just switch it over to the 115 side, just like that, okay? So now it's ready for me to use here in the US. And I am going to void the warranty in just a moment, but since I have never powered this box on, let's see where it stands right now out of the box. Let's plug him in. Got the power cord in the back here. All right. I've got a 120 volt from the wall right here. All right. Make sure everything's tight. And let's make sure it even powers on, because I would sure hate to mess up something that didn't work. All right. He powered on. But let's take a moment and test the voltage that it currently has right now. All right. Let's see. Pop this up, make sure you can read that. Okay. I am going to make sure that I'm on DC. I've got 20, and I'm going to pop this guy into right here. And this guy, is he on? He's on. And hit him just right. There he goes. 14.1, exactly what the box said, not exactly what the back of this said, but keep in mind that's not under load or anything, so we'll lose some with some voltage drop. Alright, so now what we know what he gives, but let me show you one other cool thing that Anderson PowerWorks makes here. This is, for those of us that don't have one of these amp meters, you can measure the voltage this way. And it measures both volts and amps. It has a load side and a source side. Well, this is my source side. I'm going to turn him off and let's plug him in, okay? These are normally together, but I had to unclip them one time and now they don't really want to stay. Let's turn the power on. And come on. Let's see if you can. There we go. 14.1 is what he's reading, okay? So these two verified, and I know that this guy is accurate. Let's turn this off. But these are really great when you're out in the field and you want to see what's running through, because you can add it in the middle of your line and just see what current all your gear is drawing, which is kind of cool. But I'm going to safely unplug this. And see, he's just an empty box here. And the first thing I'm going to do, which I hate doing, but I have to do, is I'm going to void the warranty, okay? So I'm going to cut this sticker. And if you are not comfortable with doing this, please find a friend or a store that can do this for you, okay? Because if somebody hadn't shown me how to do this the first time, I don't think I'd have the guts to open this up myself. Okay, so I'm going to undo the screws and slide this top casing off. Alright, there's 4 screws, and sure, I'm going to take these front 2 off. That looks like it. You ready? Alright. Our warranty is officially avoided. Alright, now that we've got the top removed from this, we need to identify which one of these dials in here adjusts the voltage. Now, there is some writing on the circuit board that you'll have to look at very carefully, and ultimately, I had to take a picture of it with my cell phone and zoom in so I could read it. But what we've got here are 2 little blue squares with yellow circles and crosses inside of them. And there's some writing across the top here that says adjustment volts. Okay, so this is the one that you want to change to adjust your voltage. Now there's another one that looks just like this down low, down in here, and on the circuit board it says A adjust, which is your amperage. Now, but what we're here to do today is to adjust our voltage so we don't overpower any of our Astro gear, because we know it likes 12 volts. Now, most of our gear will take up to 13.1 volts DC safely, but you do need to read your specs on every one of your pieces of equipment to verify. Now, my Skywatcher EQ6R requires a minimum of 13.1 volts DC, because what I have found is if I use less than that power-wise, it starves the mount for power, and when it goes into a full slew and both the deck and the RA are going at the same time, it will start to grind and bind up, and it is a horrifying sound, and that is all because I was starving it of voltage. So I have tuned this down to 13.1 volts DC is the lowest that I can go. And my camera, my Pegasus box, everything else that I use, my computer, it can handle 13.1. So for me, that is my safe voltage. But what we're going to do here is I have the AC power plugged back in, and I have my little PowerWorks box here, and I'm going to turn the power carefully on this desktop power supply. I have a small flathead screwdriver. Now, prior to this, inside this little crosshair yellow screw, there is a daub of glue, because they really don't want you playing in here. So I had to take a knife, one of these little knives, and pump out some of that glue so I could adjust. But what we're going to do here, let's see if I can get this so maybe you guys can read this with me. Let's try right there. Okay. I am going to take the screwdriver, put it in this screw hole, and I am going to twist it slowly and watch the voltage change. Now I'm at 13.67, and turn it just a little bit more. I am turning clockwise. That's 13.5, 13.4, a little more, 13.17, 13.10. That's exactly what I want. So I will remove the screwdriver, and we will give this a final test here with the amp meter. Let's see if we can get this all on screen here for you. Okay, I have it on. Look at that. There's a hole. And there's a hole there. Perfect. You see that? 13.14 volts. And at my small screwdriver, I can see if I can fine tune that just a little bit more. Moving clockwise. Let's see where that lands me at. 13.09. Not bad, but I'm going to and these are just the finest. There we go. 13.1. Think we're good. This desktop power supply is now safe to use with all my Astro gear. Just that easy. Alright, but once again, if you're not comfortable doing this, please do not do this. Take this power supply to your nearest gadget store. That's the one that updates, takes care of your phones when you crack their screens and stuff like that. They have a repair shop in the back. You can hand them this box, and for a couple dollars, just tell them what you want to do. Understand that you are voiding the warranty, and they are not responsible if they blow it up. Just a risk that you take, okay? But it was just that easy. It was just one little section, and it was a matter of reading that this says voltage adjust on it, written on this card. And again, I took a photo with my phone and zoomed in so I could read it. And the one down below is amperage adjust. Alright? Alright guys, so how did you like that video with working with our power supply? Really, it was very easy. It was a little bit scary, and if somebody hadn't shown me in my club from how to do this, I would have never have tried it. So that's why I wanted to show you guys what was involved, and for you to make the determination if it's something that you could handle. But it really was not that bad. It was just a very intimidating task. But one of the main things that I wanted you to know about is that when you buy one of these power supplies, you really do need to check the voltage that comes out of it so you don't let the smoke out of your box, okay? We really don't want to do that. Our astronomy equipment is extremely sensitive. It likes a certain amount of voltage. It does not want to go over that, and it's something that we have to be keenly aware of. And when we're at home and we want to power things up, it is just a lot easier using a desktop power supply over lugging out all the batteries in the backyard when you don't need it. But you might be asking, well, my telescope mount only comes with one of those 12-volt cigarette lighters. Well, that's where you can buy from PowerWorks one of these adapters where it will take the male end of the cigarette lighter and go into the female end, and you can just plug this into your power supply and it works. And this also has a 10 amp fuse on it, so you don't have to worry about blowing anything up, which is great. Really, really great. And these are really not that expensive. You can pick them up on Amazon. I order them direct out of California from PowerWorks, and that just happens to be where I get these boxes from. But again, this box here, he said that he's 14.1. We measured 13.8. No. But did we measure? We measured 14.1 out of the box. And we had dialed him down to 13.1, which makes him safe for everything. So that's what I've got for you guys this week. If you like this type of video, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with all your Astro friends. I appreciate every one of you. I would like to wish you all some great health, some clear skies, and I will see you all in the next video.